I'ma stay safe. I'ma stay safe. I'ma stay safe. Even though I'm hot as fire.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Shekinah Glories Drama Outreach Ministries. You're about to come into our living room to find out some deep, good, juicy news of our projects coming up. And today we have Miss Teresa Guilford from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, one of the lead actors for this ministry. And she just did her filming in Devils with a Smile, playing the character Monica Stevens. Okay, Teresa, could you give us a little take on Monica?
Well, Monica Stevens, that character, I loved playing her, and I cannot wait to see what's going to happen with her in the next following seasons and how we develop the character more. Definitely, this was a challenge for me that I wanted to take on, and part of acting, I feel like that to grow, to definitely take on different characters that you're uncomfortable with, to push yourself a little further, helps just your craft. So with Monica Stevens, ooh, child, I don't even know. It's so much about her. We could probably write a book on just her by itself. She definitely has a lot of issues, and she's very smart. That's one of the things, is she's a very smart girl. Even though she grew up on the street, she definitely has street smarts, book smarts, as well as charisma about herself. She knows how to carry herself like a lady, and then she knows how to turn on the men in her life as well and make them do what she wants them to do. She just has that little bit of twist to make them turn on and do what she needs them to do at that particular moment. And that's actually for anybody, not just the men. She seems to pull those women in too as well, and have them in her plots and in her schemes.
Oh, okay. So, as I was reading a little bit of the book and the character of Monica Stevens, I hear she comes from a very abused background and that she's seeking for someone. I know we don't want you to tell it all, but she's seeking revenge on people. And tell us a little something. When you heard about the character, how did you feel playing a mental case?
Ooh. Well, definitely, Monica definitely comes from a background of abuse in every shape, form that you could think of. Not just one typical type of abuse, but she comes from mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, just abuse. From her family and from being abandoned. So she has abandonment issues as well with abuse. She definitely is bipolar. I always call her tripolar. When I started reading her bio and her synopsis on, what this character was about and what was her background and the ages that she started off, basically from the time that she probably became aware of how to speak, being abused, being left behind by her family when she was first born at birth, all the way up until her teenage years and being shipped around to different foster homes and running away from her family and finding out that life wasn't just as great as she thought it could be if she had escaped certain areas.
So, could you tell our audience, because, I know, I know I have a few of them in my family, but, in the audience, would you think that Monica would be a person that you have known or heard about in your passing?
Well, not me. I'm not tripolar at all, in no shape or form. But we, as humans, we have different emotions, whether it's a time when we're happy or a time when we're sad. So I find myself somewhat in there a little bit from, like if I'm angry about something, there might be a little bit of Monica down in Teresa too as well. All the way to the happy moments, there was times where she did smile to cover up different things just from, gaining friends along the way as well, whether she was holding those friends hostage for something or, keeping them dear to her heart and really being honest about it. But I would definitely say I've had a few friends and I've known people just from talking to them around the, from people that I've met in my past, that certain issues that Monica had, they definitely had, took surface in a few of my friends' lives that I've came across too as well. So I definitely would say with this character, it would touch home to a lot of people that may be going through bipolar and don't know the fact that haven't been diagnosed or have been diagnosed and don't know how to actually deal with the day-to-day issues and emotions that they have behind it.
So you're saying that this Too Real for You will be more of a message and people will take home something out of this.
Absolutely. I mean, it's going to teach you from, hey, if I have issues, we all come with something in life, but the issues of life and how to get over them as well, and how cunning the devil can really be, and how he'll trick the mind of an individual. Because Monica was tricked, just as well as she was playing tricks, she was tricked by the enemy. Because of the abandonment and the things that she was going through, she was tricked to believe that she couldn't do anything but to try to get back and seek revenge versus actually trying to seek healing for herself. So definitely I think that this would be a great story, and it will touch a lot of lives. It will open doors for people to realize that certain mental issues that are out here, and abuse and abandonment that is in all shapes and forms, is real. And that these people do live in our everyday life in the USA and all over. And also, not to give you a little bit more about the actual Too Real for You, but later on down the line, Monica goes through different classes and different things, she's around church people. So God's in the midst somewhere in there. It's just the fact that she hasn't found him for herself. So there's always a message going on in there for her, and there's always seeds being planted. So definitely, even with her tongue and the things that she spit out to people, there's things that people are speaking into her for life and for good things for her to come.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah.
So we can't wait to see this Devil with a Smile coming soon.
Absolutely.
So other things we heard that you do in the ministry of Shekinah Glory's drama ministry. We heard that you did a film back in 2012, I believe, and you played a character, Cousin Liz, in Angry Tears. So tell us a little bit about that character.
Oh, that's one of my favorite characters. Yeah, Shekinah Glory's drama ministry. Definitely, I have been with them for several years now, and it's been a growth. It's been really awesome being in that production. It's free as far as allowing you to be yourself and developing your character as well, and meeting people along the way and networking with a lot of different actors and actresses. With Cousin Liz, she was just this lively, just free-spirited person, and she didn't care what anybody say or anybody think. She didn't care how people talked about her as far as her dress or appearance. She didn't care what people thought that came out of her mouth. She spoke what she wanted to speak at the time. She had her family's back, with different issues that may have went on or whatever it was. She was the ride or die, typical cousin that you wanted to have your back, but you had to watch her because she was a little crazy, so you might have to reel her back in. But definitely, I loved playing her. She's a comedy person, which that's what I like more about her.
Yes, my favorite part was when Cousin Liz come to church and take out the knives.
Untouchable.
Oh, that was so awesome.
See, Cousin Liz had knives when she went to church, but she also spoke crazy. So even though she had some knives in her, bosom, she actually was going to shoot people in the church with those knives. So she, she just, like I said, when she speaks, she just speaks what comes to her mind.
Amen.
And her cousin was going through a time at that, a terrible time at that moment, an emotional time. She was going to a church that she felt like was, she felt it was great for her at the beginning, and then it turned around and people turned their backs on her in this particular church that she had sought out for, healing and for protection. So then she felt unprotected in the same church that she sought to get protection from. And so she brought Cousin Liz to church with her. Why did she do that? I don't even think she knew what Cousin Liz would do. But Cousin Liz had her back the whole time, even when the church tried to expose her, her cousin. She definitely had her cousin's back, and she was ready for anybody that was going to take on or come, near her family. She wasn't going to let them touch them.
So you've been just jumping around characters, because I see here you played in Trap. Was It Really God, the character Donna? So how was that character? Give us a little brief description of that.
Definitely. I can relate to Donna a little bit because Donna was a married woman. I was married as well. And she was kind of conservative a little bit, but she came from a background, family that was grown up in church. She was a PK kid. And so she had, definitely had to keep a certain standard because the eyes were all on her. So she definitely tried to play that role of not making the mistakes and letting people see, the weakness side of her. And she tried to show the strength. But in the process of doing that, you could see all the weakness in Donna because she was in an abusive relationship. It wasn't physical, but it was verbal abuse, and a lot of verbal abuse, and spiritual abuse as well, and mental abuse. But she definitely was a good character to play as well. She, was weak, but she had some strength in her because she grew up as a PK kid. She definitely had the Spirit of God in her, and eventually she found that strength to be able to fight back and actually get her life back on track.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And it's another character you played. Oh, my God, Teresa. You are very talented. So we also heard you played a powerful prosecutor attorney in Busted and Disgusted.
Yes, Brenda Jones was the character I played in Busted and Disgusted. Definitely the name speaks for itself, Busted and Disgusted. Now with Brenda, she was definitely #1 prosecutor attorney in her community. So she dealt with a lot of the community, and she knew a lot of people. She was well known, and she was married as well to a doctor. And so she, had everything going. And of course, her parents were a little elderly. And as we get older, sometimes we have to go back home and help take care of our parents. And she had some loss. I believe her mother had died. So she had a loss, I believe it was her mother that died, yeah. She had a loss in her family behind that. It was a death in the family. Excuse me, and I think it was her father that died. But she had a loss, so she suffered a loss just like we all do. And so I could relate to that as well as far as having a loss. Losing family members, and she had to learn, how to deal with certain things and certain issues. And lo and behold, she thought her marriage was great. She thought it was on track. She was top of her game when it came to her job. And lo and behold, there was some secrets that had got revealed that her spiritual life was put at test.
a way of having bad timing.
Wow. Well, we thank you so much, Teresa, for stopping by in the living room of Shekinah Glory Drama Ministry. And we are looking forward to seeing plenty of these projects by Shekinah Glory Drama. Is there any last words you would like to tell our audience that's listening about Shekinah Glory Drama Ministry?
Absolutely. I could speak on and on, but I know that this is a short interview, so I'll just try to sum it up in a couple words. But I would say with Shekinah Glory's Drama Ministry, if you have not heard of it or if you have not checked it out, please go to the website and support www.ShekinahGloryDrama.com. You can actually put it in Google if you don't know how to spell it, and it'll pop it right up for you. And definitely, I would say check out the different things that are on there. The CEO of Shekinah Glory's Drama Ministry, Evangelist Erlina Guilford Weaver, great evangelist, comes from a background and a testimony herself. Talented woman. She gives you all these great stories and all these different aspects of life through her stage plays and her movies and her books. Each one of the stage plays and the movies and the TV series that are coming out all extend from a book. So I thank her for being able to write the books and give us those first to be able to read, in the privacy of our homes and feel like we're right there in the actual moment of that actual situation with the person that's going through it that you're reading about as far as the characters. And the stage plays as well. You can actually get those DVDs as well. If you don't know how to get them, you can look it up on Facebook, whether myself, TC Guilford, at Facebook.com, or you can look up Erlina Guilford Weaver at Facebook.com and actually be able to follow us. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Definitely. You can actually email us too as well, 2realforyou@gmail.com. That is the number 2, and then the word real, REAL, the number 4, the letter U, @gmail.com. So that's 2realforyou@gmail.com. I would say hit us up. Let us know what you think. Give us some feedback. That's what we're looking for, and thank you.
Thank you very much. And tune in again for some more exciting news from ShekinahGloryDrama.com.
I'ma stay safe. I'ma stay safe. Even though I'm hot as fire, I'm gonna get high. I'ma stay safe. I'ma stay safe. I'ma stay safe. Even though I'm hot as fire, I'ma rock it anyhow. I'ma stay safe. Excuse me, mister. Me and my wife was in front of the line, dear sir. I don't think it's right if I allow you to skip me. I just wanna keep peace, get some tickets to this movie. I'm trying to be discreet, sir. It's really not deep, sir. We all gon' get a seat, sir. And we all gon' eat, sir. So please, will you calm down? Homie, put your arms down.